Great morning. Come on in, you guys. Come on in. I'm going to turn on the do not disturb. Come on in, you guys. Let me share. Come on in. Great morning. Great morning. Let me share. All right. All right. Share one more place. Listen. Today may be a little emotional, so I just need y'all to just know that up front. Maybe just a teeny bit, little bit emotional. Bear with me, stay with me. It's all connected. It's all connected. What an amazing day it is. 12/4/22. 12/4/22, the fourth day of the 12th month of 2022. As we're preparing to shift into 2023. You guys come on in. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. Y'all, I got lag on my video. Y'all know how it does. It don't want to always act right for me, but it's okay. Good morning, Kareem. See, I can't even see your comment up there. I'm having to look here. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Lakita. How you doing? Great morning, great morning, great morning. So y'all bear with me for just a second. I'm going to refresh real quick on here. Although I can see it here, I'm going to refresh on here so that it can catch up. So hold on one second. Let me refresh. There you guys are. Hey, y'all. Hey. All right. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Here we go. Great morning, April. Hey, Kareem. Hey, Corey. How you doing, Stacy? Hey, Lakita. Listen, California's in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you guys, it's all connected today. Today would have been my brother Travis's 53rd birthday. He would be 53 today. Hey Tim, how are you? My brother would have been 53 today. My brother died May 16th, 1984, my senior year, right before graduation, right before prom, right before all of that. So his life was cut short, right? And so I'm looking and I'm taking I'm working with my sister on her relationship traumatology class, and we're at the place where we're talking about the genealogy, right? So yesterday I talked about the power of DNA. I talked about the power of understanding your genealogy to understand your relationship trauma and the things that happen in your relationships. I referred to some of those patterns that exist in my life through my dad's side of the family that I never met, but I can see the patterns of that side of the family in my life, right? Even though I didn't grow up with them, I didn't know about them, I still see those patterns. And so today I was my sister, first of all, my sister Ebony and I have been up since the wee hours of the morning. And she finally called me about 4 something Central Time. And I'm up. I'm like, girl, what you doing calling me this time of the morning? She said, because I knew you were up because the green light was on. I said, the light lies. It lies. But she was right. I had been up, had been thinking about my brother. And so we began to talk about our brother. Now, this is the interesting thing. His birthday is 12/4/1969, and he died May 16th in 1984. My other brother, Eric is my brother on my daddy's side. He was the oldest son. Um, my daddy always thought that was his oldest child until he met me. Eric was born December 7th, 1969. Literally, both brothers that I lost were born in the month of December within the same week and um the same year. Like literally the same year. Like, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of my two brothers? And both of my brothers were chocolate. Travis was more chocolate than Eric, but both of them were brown. They were not the light skin. My brother Craig is a light skin like me. Um, but Eric was more brown skin, and my brother Travis was brown skin, dark skin, like chocolate, right? I'm convinced that his chocolateness is one of the reasons that I've always loved chocolate men, right? So today would have been my brother's 53rd birthday. And on the 7th, it would have been my brother Eric's 53rd birthday. It's all connected. Everything in our lives is connected. We say this all the time. We talk about all things work together for the good, right? But everything in our lives is connected. Like, God didn't make a mistake. It wasn't an accident that both my brothers were born during the same week in the same year, but I only knew about one of them. That wasn't an accident. Wasn't an accident that Travis died my senior year. It wasn't an accident. Though it was an accident to us, God was not caught off guard by it. God already knew what was going to happen. As my sister and I were talking, and we were talking about um, what we were doing that day and what happened that day and what our memories were. She began to share her memory because, they lived together, and my brother was not in school that day. He was suspended from school. Him and my brother Wayne were both suspended. Mama had fixed a big breakfast they'd eaten, and they decided to go wade. It had rained, and they were going to wade in the water in the fields, right? So my sister's talking about um her dad, my stepdad, pulling up, talking about Travis is in the water or something, and what happened after that from her perspective. Now, she was there on the scene. I wasn't. I was at school that day. I can remember getting ready for band practice, or it being right after band practice, and my mama coming and getting out, and know that my mom and I had a contentious relationship. Our relationship was just rocky, right? And so she had come to the school, and, she had asked where I was, and somebody pointed her to me where I was and stuff. And she came in and she said, "I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "What? You with an attitude?" I know I had an attitude. Okay. Cause that was me. When it came to her, I had an attitude. I'm sure I did. And she said, um, "Your brother drowned. He's dead." And my response was, "No, he's not. Like, why would you even play like that?" Because, of course, she had to be playing. This couldn't really be happening. My 14-year-old brother really could not be dead. Like, there's no way that this could be happening. My senior year, we had just buried my grandmother about 6 weeks prior. Like, there's no freaking way that this is real and this is really happening. This must be a cruel joke. Why would you play this joke on me? And I was really upset, and I was screaming at her. I was screaming at her, and I was crying. Like, why would you play like that? And it took somebody else, and I don't even remember who it was, to tell me she's not playing, like, for real. And I lost it, right? Um, it's interesting to me how much being home has brought all this stuff up, brought all these strong emotions up. Um, and I know it's not an accident. I know that it's all connected. It's a part of that healing process. So today, my brother would have been 53. And I'm sure he would have been an amazing man because he was an amazing brother. Um, we're not going to tell my other brothers. We're not going to tell my other brothers this, but he was my favorite brother. Um, my brother Wayne and I, we always bump heads. He always, was, in trouble. Now, and I got him in trouble too. That's the other thing, y'all. Like, I listen, I don't know. I got him in trouble though. I used to get him in trouble. But I just find myself in a place today where I'm looking at the amazing puzzle pieces of my life and how God has put them together. There are no accidents. God was very deliberate and strategic about everything that was happening concerning me. Even down to my brothers, like all of that, God knew. God knew. Now my brother Eric was older when he died. Eric died in 1995. The year that I walked across the stage with my PhD is also the year that my brother. I want y'all to notice that. So both brothers died the year I was graduating. One the year I was graduating from high school, the other the year I was graduating with my PhD, but very significant times of my life, And though I did not know Eric, it doesn't change the fact that when I look back over it, like I'm like, that's crazy. So Eric died at 26. Um, he was 26. I was 28. Well, he was getting ready to turn 26 that year. He would have been 26 that year in December. He died in July. So he was 25 when he died. I was 20. I was 28. And I'm just looking like, God, really, God, like, this what we doing? Everything in your life, when you look at your life, I need you to get this, that it's all connected. I know it looks sporadic, it looks haphazard, it looks like it's just a bunch of random things that have happened in your life, but that's not what it is. It is an entire view that God had from the beginning of your life all the way to the end of your life, knowing every decision and every choice you would make, knowing every step you would take, knowing in advance what all of that was going to look like, and still orchestrating a plan for your good, a plan to give you a hope and a future and to bring you to an expected end. Um, I met grief early. I knew loss early in life. So in high school, like, loss became very real to me because I lost people that I was very close to. And it just so happens that all of these men that are so significant in my life, their birthday is in the month of December. Of course, there was my grandfather whose birthday is the 1st/2nd. My brother Travis, whose birthday is today, December 4th. My brother Eric, whose birthday is December 7th. Um, my stepdad, whose birthday is December 8th. And then my daddy's birthday is December the 19th. But the people that I've lost, like, are all like in the beginning of the month of December. And I find myself looking at my life and knowing that I'm not the only one whose life may look crazy, but be orchestrated by God. This is why genealogy is important. Now, add to that, my grandmother's birthday is December 6th. My grandmother, Esther. On my daddy's side, my daddy's mom's birthday is December 6th. So you can hear me talk a little bit more about her on her birthday. And, you may say, Dr. V, why are you talking about these people who are no longer here? Some of whom you knew and some of whom you didn't. Why are you talking about them? I realized something. Who continues the story? Who continues the story? Who reminds people of the family? I have cousins who never met my grandparents, right? They may have heard stories about them, but they never met them. And when you don't tell the story, you allow the memory to die to the family. Family is about memories and those oral histories. As African descended people, we are very oral in our nature, right? So our histories were told. The stories were told, right? And so somebody has to keep the stories going. Somebody has to remind the generations to come of these people who they never had an opportunity to meet. And I'm so blessed and so fortunate because um I have like multiple sets of grandparents, right? It's so interesting to me. I was remembering when my brother died. So I had this love-hate relationship with a church in our hometown, Bank Street, because that's the church where all the funerals were held. So my sophomore year in high school, my grandfather's funeral was held there. My senior year in high school, my grandmother's funeral was held there. And then my brother's funeral was held there 6 weeks later, right? So like it was back-to-back funerals, And when I think about our lives and what God does in our lives, I'm using me as a specific example, but you can plug you into the equation. Your stories may be a little different than mine. Your experiences may be a little different than mine, but all of our experiences are connected. It's all connected. God connected it all in order for us to learn lessons, in order for us to grow, in order for us to um see God's hand. Now, I know that a lot of times um we don't we don't think that um what's happening in our lives matters, right? We don't think it matters. Um we don't understand the impact of it. But my brother Travis, from his death, we got my oldest son, Trevellis, who was named after him because my grandfather used to always call him Travelus, right? Instead of Travis. He would call him Travelus, and that's where I got Trevellis from. Um, my son's son, who is Trevellis Jr., right? My nephew, who is Trevez, right? All of them named after our brother Travis because of the impact that he had on our lives. In those 14 short years of living, he impacted us. Um, you don't know what kind of impact you're necessarily having on the lives of people. Sometimes the impact is imperceptible, like you can't perceive it, right? But it shows up later, and you recognize it. What I know is that God is concerned about everything concerning me and concerning you, the same way he was concerned about everything concerning my brothers. Impact is not determined by length of life. Impact is determined by your presence, by the way you show up in the world. And one thing about my brother was always smiling. He always smiled. He was so incredibly sweet. He just was good. Like he was like a good child. He was not bad. My brother Wayne was bad as hell, bad. My brother Travis wasn't bad, but my brother Travis got in trouble because of my brother Wayne. You know what I'm saying? You know how you had that sibling that gets you in trouble, right? And he was a great brother. Today, as I think about his life, I was talking to my sister and I realized that he doesn't have a headstone, you know, um, all these years later, and he still yet doesn't have a headstone. And I'm like, that's something that I want to rectify. We need to fix that. We need to fix that. He needs a headstone. He deserves a headstone. So that his place is not lost, Um, when when um I think about my brother, like I miss him. I miss never getting to see the adult version of him. I miss him having kids or relationships or
Like, I miss his presence in my life. Um, and I'm just reminded of how much I lost my senior year, you know, how many major hits I took that last year of high school, the year that's supposed to be carefree, the year that, you're supposed to have fun. It's your last year to be kind of free before, you have to grow up and go off and be adult. That year changed me and it changed my life. That whole year changed me. And when I look back and I look at my freshman year in college, I realized that I was in college suffering from depression and not even knowing that I was depressed. I was always at the parties. I was always drinking. I didn't go to class. And I still came out with a 2 point something GPA. I don't know how I did that. That's when you know you smart for real, right? Because I was not consistent in my classroom attendance, especially that first semester. But I find myself now grateful. I say it's all connected because it is. My gratitude for life and living is enhanced because of all that I've gone through. All that I've gone through has made me appreciate life and appreciate living. The fact that I had the opportunity to name my son after my brother, to keep his memory alive. And I talk about him, to my kids, and I talk about their Uncle Travis, and, it keeps him present. It keeps him present. And though he's not here in the physical form, he's still here. Our lives, our energy, the energy doesn't die. Our souls don't die. And I don't know, today I feel him differently. Like, I feel my brother differently, you know? And my sister said, wonder what he's doing in heaven, he's probably cheering us on, watching over us. It just is all connected. I believe, this is just me thinking out loud, that Travis and Eric conspired together to orchestrate things for me to find Daddy, to find out about Eric. That my ancestors wanted me not to have that hole in my life, those missing pieces. They wanted me to be able to have a correct view of myself and use my niece, my brother Eric's daughter, as the connection. To this day, I just have a special place in my heart for my my nephew Eric. I have a special place in my heart for him. And I think one of the reasons that I have such a special place in my heart for him is that um, he just embraced me, and I could see his dad being like that. I could see Eric being like that. Um, don't allow your family, your kids, your grandkids to miss out on significant family connections because we're keeping secrets. It's not fair. And I encountered so many people who found out that the person they thought that was their daddy wasn't their daddy. I encountered so many people with that story. People who discover family that they didn't know they had, siblings that they didn't know they had. At some point, we have to stop keeping the secrets and start being honest so that people get the opportunity to have relationship. I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to meet my daddy and to meet most of my siblings. I'm grateful because the story could have been very different. It could have turned out very different. But God knew. He knew. He knew what I needed. He loved me enough to order my footsteps. And even when I cried out to him, he didn't answer my cry the way I thought he would answer my cry, which I don't know how I thought he would do it. But he answered it the way that I needed my cry answered. Grief and grieving doesn't just stop, it doesn't just go away, right? It is a process, and it is one where you may have good days and you may have bad days. But regardless of the kind of day that you're having, the fact that you have had the opportunity to have someone that you loved in your life, whether it was family or whether it was a significant other or whether it was a friend, like whoever it was, like it's okay to grieve. It's okay to remember. It's okay. And then be grateful. Be grateful for the people that are present in your life now. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Like, make amends as much as you can with people so that there's not all of this unresolved stuff. We end up with so much unresolved stuff that we don't have to have. I'm determined that people will get sick of me telling them how much I love them and that I care for them. They'll get sick of it because I want to know that I took every opportunity to let people know what they mean to me, to let my kids know that I'm proud of them, to love on my grandkids so that they have memories with me. I'm grateful for this time to travel so I can build memories with them. And I'm not so busy working that I miss that time, Tomorrow is not promised. I promise you this. I want to make sure that every moment that I have, that I spend letting the people that I love know that I love them. It's not it's not for show. It's not a game. It's not for likes. It's not for hearts. It's for real. It's for real. And you got to take your life for real. So when you think about somebody, call them and tell them you love them. Just do something. Everything doesn't have to be big, but being willing, to just do the small things, it makes a difference. This month is a month full of surprises, a month full of opportunities to surprise somebody else, to do something small, but it lets them know that you're thinking about them. Today, I'm going to the cemetery um, to visit my brother's grave, my grandfather's grave, my grandmother's grave, All of them are right there together. Um, it's so interesting. I don't remember us ever doing anything for Travis. Like I don't remember us doing that. But I know that today I want to do something for my brother. Now I know, y'all, that he's not in the grave. I know that. I just want to do something to celebrate his life and his legacy because he's not forgotten. And my sister not gonna go. I'm gonna check with my other siblings because they may want to go too. Um, and then I'll go see Mama and spend some time with her. There's no good to focus on those who've gone on and forget about the living. I know that was a hard time for Mama. Um, it was a hard time for my brother because they were together, and I believe that day changed his life forever. It changed all of us, but I think it really affected him. And so I just want to remind you that everything in your life is connected, and there's a reason that the things that happened, and a reason that they happened the way they did and when they did. And God knew all of it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm blessed with so many siblings. People don't have the luxury of that, but I'm grateful. And I'm grateful that I made a decision to give my kids siblings, because at the end of the day, all you have is each other. When your parents are gone, what's left is you know? And I want them to always have each other's backs, and always be there for one another when the world is being cold and the world turns its back on you and you go through your toughest challenges, whatever that looks like, losing a job, you know, um, losing a relationship, like whatever tough stuff you go through, you know that you don't have to go through it by yourself, that there's someone that loves you, who's got your back, you know? And I don't know about you, but I know for me, as I get older, like I'm more conscious of time and love and the value of life. Today, remember, it's all connected and it's all working together for your good. Don't forget that. God didn't make a mistake. He didn't mess up. It wasn't an error. It was his infinite wisdom laying out a plan for your life that you get the privilege of living out, even if it doesn't look the way you thought it would. It's still yet a privilege. Some people, their lives were cut much shorter. I was talking to somebody and they were talking about how I did everything right. Like I went straight through school and went on and got my graduate degree. Huh. And I said, you know what's crazy? I was so upset with myself because in my head, on my time schedule, I was supposed to graduate with my PhD at 26 and I was 28. And I was upset about that. But at 26, well, actually at 25, my brother lost his life. It was cut short after getting saved, after building and establishing a relationship with God that was personal, cut short. You don't know what your time looks like. So value the time that you have. It's all connected and it's all working together for your good. I pray that this word today blessed you. I pray that you got something out of it. And I pray that you'll join us for our worship service at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 a.m. Central. I don't know what God gonna be talking about today, but he's gonna be talking about something and it's gonna be good. Like, I don't know, I have no clue. But what I do know is that he is faithful and he is consistent and he knows the plans that he has for us, each of us individually and us collectively. And it's all working for our good. If you want to bless me, you can at Cash App $DRV Walters, Cash App $DRV Walters, or PayPal.me/DRV Walters. Today, embrace your life, embrace love, and love on your family. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing day. I'll see you at Passionate Pursuit for Manifested Purposes Ministries at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Central. Be blessed. Mwah.